Hello friends, welcome back. So in this session we will learn about utility packages, and we will go through the classes that are present, means classes, interfaces, enum or annotations, whatever that is present under java.util package. So what is util package? Util means a utility package. JDK is providing one utility package that contains some classes, interfaces, enums or annotations that are widely used by developer to store the data or to process the data, or that is also used to search the data. Means whatever the data structure concepts are there, like searching the data, storing the data and manipulating the data. So all that concepts are implemented into utility package. Suppose data structure can have a queue, data structure can have a stack, vector, hash table or linked list, one-way linked list, two-way linked list. So all these concepts are implemented into util package. Along with that one, it has given some extra classes are also. Suppose for date, for time, for calendar, for timer, for base 64, to generate any random number, or to compare. That comparator we have already seen, that is an iterator to iterate the collections, or some properties, resource bundle. So all these we will see, currency, formatter. So all these are the utility classes. These all are the utility classes. We may develop that utility classes by our own, but that also is not required to do, because what we have to do, if we develop those classes or interfaces, so we have to test them first, and we have to check all the scenarios. While testing, we have to check for all the possible inputs. So that will also will be you will say, we can say it will be your code will be very huge and complex in that way. Means for each and every applications you have to do, means either you have to do or either you have to import that libraries. So instead of that one, JDK is coming with utility package, so we can directly leverage that one and we can use this one. So this is the introduction of utility package. Okay, so these are the following some classes, like collection. So collection is representing any elements that is grouped into a single object is called a collection, where you can store the element, you can get the element, you can delete the element, you can remove it, or you can change it, so whatever you want. So that is representing a one collection. Collection means we can say that the group of similar object. Okay, we will see these classes thoroughly: abstract collection, list, abstract list, array list, linked list, set, abstract set, hash set, linked hash set, reset, sorted set, queue, dequeue. All those we will see. All those one by one we'll see. Okay. So these are all the classes. These all are the classes, like dictionary, iterator, comparable, arrays, collections, random access, optional. All these, whatever this this color is representing a concrete class. This blue color is representing an interface, and this color, and this purple color is representing the abstract class. Blue is representing interface, and this purple color is representing abstract class, and this saffron color is representing concrete class. Okay, so these are the all all classes, some of them are legacy classes, we will see that one. So firstly we will start from this collection API, because this is the for any type of collection. Suppose in databases, if you see, sorry, in non-database, in your data structure, if you see, there are so many data structure concepts. Suppose in data structure array is there, in data structure list is there, or in data structure tree is there. Tree is also a way, tree structure is also a way where you can store the data in the tree form. We will see that thoroughly. In the same way in the same way, queue is there. Queue means that first in first out, that concept is there. Stack is there, means first in last out, that concept is there. And linked list, doubly linked list, one way linked list, two way linked list, and some of the algorithms, so that all are present here. So in the collection you can see, you can say that is the collection of elements, and that has been implemented by data structure concepts. Okay, so collection is the super class for all the collection API. Because in the collection API there are so many subclasses according to their functionality, according to their use. Because in the data structure, if you see, each concept has their own benefits and limitations. They have the limitations, they have some advantage also, they have some disadvantage also. We have to define for which one we should go, which one we should use. So that all implementation is given in form of collection only, but that it depends which implementation we are going to use. So we will see this thoroughly. So first one, we will see the collection API. So what is collection API? A collection API is sometimes called container. Collection API is sometimes called container. Yes, container for what? Of a similar or multiple objects, a group of similar multiple objects into a single unit. It is simply an object. Collection is simply an object that groups multiple elements into a single unit. Collection are used to store, retrieve, manipulate, and manipulate and communicate aggregation data. Typically the represent data items that form a natural group, such as a poker hand, a collection of cards. If you say poker hand, that is nothing but, in poker hand, nothing but some cards are there, 10, 20, 50 cards are there. A mail folder contains all the mails, all the letters. A telephone directory, what exactly contains? All the numbers. Number means in the form of how person name, mobile number, that will be in that form. If you have used the Java programming language or just about to other programming language, you already familiar with collections. Okay, suppose if we are not familiar, we will see this one. So what we can say, what is the collection API? Collection API is we already seen, that is nothing but a library only. API is nothing but library, but collection is a container for similar type of multiple object, into a single unit called collection. And what is collection framework? A collection framework is unified architecture for representing, manipulating collections. All collection framework contains the following. It has some interfaces. Yes, sometimes it has an interfaces, because what exactly collection, if we say collection API means collection framework, that has some framework. In that one, what exactly, it has an interface. That abstract data typically represent collection. Interface allow collection to be manipulated. independently of the details of their representation. And object oriented programming interfaces generally form an hierarchy. Okay, implementation, these are the concrete implementation of a collection interface. In essence, they are reusable data structure. Yes, here it is clearly saying collection implementation is what? Collection is one interface. Collection is an interface and the implementation is data structure. Okay. Algorithm, these are the method that perform useful computation such as searching, sorting. These are the data structure concepts: searching, sorting, storing. So to store the elements we will use collections. For search element we will use some other algorithms. To sort we will use some other interfaces. So these all are the algorithms on object that implements collection interface. Suppose some implementation you have given for the collection, that implementation you can use for searching, sorting, because that has a collection of, or that is a group of multiple elements of a similar type. So on that one you can perform searching or sorting algorithms. So it's very easy to apply on that one. So the algorithms are said to be polymorphic. This is the same method that can be used on many different implementations of a appropriate collection interface. In essence, algorithms are reusable functionality. That's it. What exactly the benefits if you use this collection framework? So far we have seen what is collection API, what is the collection framework. Frameworks formed from three component: interfaces, implementation and algorithms. And collection is nothing but a container of multiple object of a similar type. And what will be the benefit of a collection framework if you use? Reduce programming effort. If you have to store 10 object of a similar type, then you have to create either array or you have to create some class that will internally store 10 elements or more than. So you have to do that process manually. Instead of doing that one, you can leverage that advantage from utility package, because utility package is already providing that facilities. So it will reduce the programming effort, increase program speed and quality. How? Because that code, whatever is already there in utility package, that is well tested. You don't need to do any testing. The collection framework provide high performance, high quality implementation of useful data structure and algorithm. Yes, it's a very important line here to understand. The collection framework provides high performance, high quality implementation of useful data structures and algorithms. So that's why it will increase programming speed and quality. Okay, and allow interpolability among the unrelated API. Suppose the collection interfaces are a vulnerable by API's pass collection bank for both. If the network administrator API functions a collection or node names, and if you GUI toolkit accept the collection of a column heading, our API will interpret some shamelessly even though they are written independently. That can be used independently. It is not depending. Suppose some other application is using some other programming language, you can very easily incorporate with them, because that is implementation of data structure only, and data structure can be implemented into any programming language. Simply reduce the effort to learn and to use the new API. You, by using this collection API, you can use any API that is similar to that one. It is very easy, because here very much good implementation is provided into this one. And reduce effort to design new API. Yes, you can design new APIs while using these APIs already. Foster software you reuse, yeah, you can reuse, no issue. It is not like that one list class you have created that is storing only one, because that is all generics only. Okay, so so if you see the collection hierarchy, so these are the collection hierarchy. Here this blue egg shaped circle is representing interface, and this square with rounded corner and that color has a purple is representing abstract class, and this saffron color with a corner with sharp corner is representing concrete class. Okay, and if you see this hierarchy of inheritance, collection is inheriting iterable interface. Collection is inheriting iterable interface. So if I see the if I see this code, this is our collection, this is our collection. Collection is an interface that is a generic type, that is a generic type. If you see, you can see easily. Collection is an interface that is present into java.util package. Java.util package. Under this util package, collection APIs are there, collection framework is there, and this collection interface is implementing iterable, and where this iterable is present, that iterable is present into java.lang. What does it mean of iterable? If I say, what is iterable? Iterable means you can iterate someone. Suppose if in array there are 10 elements, so how will you iterate that 10 elements? You will start fetching from the 0th index of an array, and you will go till the last index of that array. You will access the first index, means inside a loop you will access all the elements. Loop you will start from 0 to 10. From 0 position you will access that 0th position element. You will process that one, means you will print that one simply, or you will, wherever you want you can use, or and in the same process you will go till to a last element. So that is nothing but iteration. These are the iteration number is 10. Now you can say, if I say if an array has a 10 element and I am processing the 10 elements, it means I am iterating the array, and iteration number is a 10. So iterable is nothing but implement the interface, allow an object to be targeted or enhanced. See, nothing but that is used to iterate the elements. Iterate the element of what type? Type T. Any type of element it will iterate. So many elements will be there, and here one iterator is there. Iterable will return an iterator. What iterator will do? Iterator will used to iterate the elements. Okay, so iterator has one method that iterable has one method, that is iterator, and for each is also there. For each means all the elements it will iterate. For each consume, one method is there, that is that has a one method is that has a one reference type of a consumer. What exactly this consumer is? What is this consumer? Consumer is another interface, that is a functional interface. We have already seen this one, and that has a one method, that is accept. Another one is a default method, that is you don't need to check, that is default one. This one implementation is mandatory because this is only functional interface. Only one abstract method, that is accept of type T, and return type is void. That's it. So collection is extending iterable, means collection is inheriting iterable, and so iterable has one method. Iterable has methods. One is iterator, it will return iterator. One is for each, and one is a splitter, it will return the splitter also. You can split the all the elements in one positions. Okay, that is fine. So collection has these three methods. Along with that, some other some extra methods collection is adding. What exactly the method? Size. What exactly the meaning of size? What will be the size of elements? Means we have already seen the definitions. Collection is sometimes called a container, and it is simply an object that group multiple objects into a single unit of a same type. Means in collection there may be n number of objects of a similar type. So how many numbers of objects are present, you can get from the size. Size will represent the number, how many, return the number of elements in this collection. See, return the number of elements into this collection. Okay, next one is empty. Is empty means return whether true or false, representing whether the list is the collection is empty or not. Empty means there will be no elements into collection. If there is no element into that collection, it means it will return is empty, true, otherwise false. And contains means what? You will test whether the particular object is present into this collection or not. Suppose if I say in one array I want to check whether this in particular array 10 element means value 10 is present or not. How will you know that? When you have to iterate from first to last and you have to check whether that element is 10 or not, If it is a 10 or then you will return true, otherwise you will return false. So in the same way it is doing container. Boolean means representing true or false, whether that particular object is present into this collection or not. That's it. Return true if the collection contains a specified element, otherwise false. Iterator, that is coming from iterable, it will return iterator. Okay, next one is toArray. From that collection, if you want to create array, you can create that array, or you can create that array of a particular type. That is not an issue, that also you can do. Or you can create the array from init functionality. We will see this one also. Add means it will used to add a new element into that collection. In this collection, if you want to add new element, you can use this method, add, and it will return true when the element is added. Remove, it will remove this element from this collection. It will remove this element from this collection. Okay, next one is contain all. Contain all means it is used to test whether in this current list these elements, whatever the elements are present into C, is available or not. It will return true or false. Add all, from this collection it will add all the elements into this collection. From C it will add into this collection. Remove, from this collection it will remove all the elements into this collection. Remove if means if this predicate will true, then only it will remove. Okay. Retain all, from this collection how many elements, whatever is element is present into this one, you will retain all, you remove. Clear will remove all the elements from this collection. Equals, that is coming from object class. Okay. Hash code is coming from object class. Splitter, that is coming from iterable. Stream, that is newly added into Java 1.8. Streaming API, we will see this one. It will stream means it will return a stream of particular element, and from the stream you can use 1111 elements. Parallel stream you can get. Okay, that's it. So let's see the example first of iterable, because collection is implementing iterable only. Suppose here so I have created, so here we have created one collection object. See, this is the implementation array list. So many implementations are there: list, array list, linked list, set, tree set, hash table. So many are there. You can use any of them, no issue. But currently I am using this one only. Whatever you want to prefer means you can use. We will learn all those. Okay. And I have added these elements: 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 elements I have added into this collection, and that collection I am printing here. Okay, so it is printing here: first element, second element, third element, fourth element. 4 elements I have added into this collection, and 4 elements I am printing. Okay, how I am printing this one? Because of for each. This for each is coming from where? This for each is coming from iterable. Yes, this is iterable. This for each is coming from iterable interface, because collection is implementing iterable interface. So that for each is coming from iterable, and in iterable this is a default implementation. Default implementation is giving into this one. It is iterating, and that is accepting one consumer object. And consumer, if you see, that is a functional interface. So if it is a functional interface, we can give that implementation here only. We are giving that implementation. Yes, we have given that implementation. This is a lambda expression. We have already seen this one. What is the lambda expression? How we can use that lambda expression? What is the benefits? And what should be the conditions if we have to use lambda expression? So that we can see. You can go to that session and you can watch that one. No issue. Okay. So here this is for each, and this is the lambda expression, and we are printing this one. So it is printing. It's printing. Okay, next one method is there from iterable is splitter is there. So this is a splitter. This is splitter. So if I get the splitter, what happens? I have to save this first. Okay, so this is splitter. Splitter means estimate size. For get exact size if known, means if I have iterated one element, in that case that size will be different something. Get exact size if known. Okay, so this one is splitter, and splitter has for each remaining. If you open that splitter class, you will see there are so many methods. Try split, again that splitter of same type it will give. Estimate size means return an estimate of number of elements that would be encountered by for each remaining. That's why for each remaining it is coming 0. If the splitter linked size has not been partially traveled. Okay, so this one is for each. Get exact size if known. Characteristics. So these are so many. So comparator is there, you can get the comparator, no issue. Current default is implementation is, you will throw exception. So this is called splitter, and using the splitter also you can iterate that element, Try advance. If you see this implementation, what will happen? Yes, so try advance. Now it will take the first element, and now if we see the exact size, what will happen? get exact size if known. What will happen? Get exact size if known 3. Yes, because one element you have already iterated using try advance. If I will do try advance, and if I will run this again, then what will be the exact size? 2, but estimate size will be same. Okay, so this one is splitter. Using splitter also you can iterate the elements. Okay, and splitter for each remaining that also we have already seen using this one. Okay, that one's fine. Next one is iterator, because in iterable if you see, we have only one iterator and for each and splitter. These three methods are present into iterable interface. And one more thing, iterable get iterator is returning one iterator, and that iterator has some method like has next and remove. So so if you see this iterable, iterable has these three methods only. One is iterator, that is return iterator for this element. Suppose this is the example. Suppose in this collection we have added these 4 elements and we have used get iterator. And another one is for each, that we have used already. For each, this one is for each. Yes, this one is for each, that is from iterable, only. It is running. Okay, and the last one is a get splitter. From this splitter you can iterate, that is also fine. This is our splitter. If I comment this one, last one is a splitter. This is a splitter, and from this splitter also you can iterate, or there are so many other methods. You can learn that one, no issue, but that is not being used much. Estimate size is 4 and this is the iterations only. Splitter, using splitter also you can do. So these three methods are present into iterable only. This iterable, and from this iterable we are getting iterator also. So this is the iterator, that is our generics. See all the collections, if you see collection API, this is the collection API, and the each syntax tells us the interface is generic. All the collections are generic. All the collections or subtype of a collection are generic. We have already seen what is the generic. Generics will allow you to store the any elements that you can tell at a compile time. Iterate type check at a compile time called generics. You can see in the last session, and you can watch that complete session. We have defined what is generic there. Okay, so this collection is generics, and in this iterable these three methods are there. One is iterator, one is for each, and another one is a splitter. So splitter will return one splitter object, and iterator is returning one iterator, and this iterator has these 4 methods. One is the has next. Has next means tells return true if the iterator has more elements. Suppose iterator is nothing but an object only, that is the collections of some element, and that will iterate the objects, that will iterate all the objects, and that iterator has next method that will return true if the iterator has more element. If don't have more element, it will give has next means either true or no. Has next means if iterator has next element, it will return true, otherwise it will return false. And next means it will return the present element and will move to the next element. Return the present element and move to next element. Return the next element into iterator and move to the next. Okay, so this is the example of that one. Suppose so this is our iterator. I will comment this one, comment this also. Okay, so we will see this iterator now. So I have first what I have did, we have get the iterator, c dot iterator, and this iterator I am checking in while loop. While iterator has next means while run this loop till the run this loop while iterator has next element. While this iterator has a next element, running this loop, keep running this loop, and inside this one I am checking iterator dot next. Next what it will do, if you have created newly iterator from this collection, it means your index is pointing to the zeroth position, first position, and in this first position what the iterator dot next function will do, iterator, when you apply iterator dot next method on this iterator, your iterator will return the element at the present index, means from zeroth index, and it will cursor will move to the next element, and there in that point it will check whether the iterator is reached to the last element or not, because we are checking has next. Iterator is checking whether we have reached to the last element or not. If we have not reached to the last element, it will return true, and again this loop will run and it will check has next, and it will check the next element, and we are printing that element. Suppose yes, iterator dot remove is also there, means remove, what it will do, it will remove remove all the elements are removed from this list, from this iterator. Okay, if I will print here that collection again, it will be removed from collection also. Yes, because this is iterator, this we are printing here, it is removed from collection. This iterator we have taken from this list collection only, and this collection is empty, because yes, it is not printing. If I will not remove, it will print. If I will not remove, it will print. It is printing two times now. This we are printing from iterator, and this we are printing from collection. Yes, and what I am doing here, I am removing from this iterator. It means I am removing from this list collection only, because this iterator is pointing to this collection only, so it is removed from both. Okay, so that is fine. We have seen next, has next, and remove method of iterator. Has next, that is same only. It is same only. Has next, okay, that is same only, not required. And for each is also there, because in iterator for each is again there. If you don't want to iterate in this way, you can, that is your wish, you can iterate here, no issue. Yes. Okay, so these are the 4 methods are present into iterator: has next, remove, and for each remaining. These are the examples, you can go through once again. And we have seen iterable also. In iterable these three method is there. One is iterator, it is returning iterator, and that iterator has four methods that we have seen, and that is has, next, next, remove, and remaining, and these are the example of that one. And this iterable is returning, iterable is directly iterating using for each, that also you can do. And this iterator has a one splitter also, you can use this splitter to print also, no issue. Okay, so these are the iterable and iterator. Next one is a collection. Next one is a collection now. So in the collection there are some methods that we have already seen. All the methods we have seen. Size, what exactly the size in the collection, returning the size of collection. Suppose let's see that example now. Okay, so now this is the collection we have created here again. So in this collection we have added four elements. We have added four elements. So what are the four elements? We are printing here elements. We have removed something. I think we have removed. Okay, no, just remove if will not. Okay, collection print. Collection print. Okay, okay, so if I run this one, okay, we are printing here. Last one we are printing simply to know what exactly will be the status of that one. So it means printing for every time I am just printing at last. Okay, no issue. So first one is a size. First one is a size. Another one is empty, contains, and contains ABC, contains ABC. ABC is not containing Ramnivas, it is containing, yes, obviously this list, this name is present. So if I run this one, you will see. So what exactly the size of that collection size is 4. So this is why it's coming 4. Is empty, yes. Is empty, no, sorry, no. Is empty, no, because if it is empty means true when there is no element. Suppose there is no element now in this collection, so now is empty is true. Size is 0 now. Is empty is true. It is containing ABC, no. It containing Ramnivas, no, because this collection is not containing anything. Okay, so if I add here 4 elements, so now the size will be 4. Is empty is false because it's not empty. Whether this collection is containing ABC, no, it's not containing. Whether this collection is containing R Ramnivas, yes, that is present here, it's containing, that's why it's a true. Okay, so we have seen these 4 methods. Size, is empty, contains. 3 methods: size, is empty, and contains. Size, is empty, and contains. That contains, once we are checking for the value that is not present, and once we are checking that value, checking for that value that is present into that collection. Okay, the next one is to array. Iterator we have already seen. How this is coming from iterable and it is returning iterator. Okay, to array. Next one is a to array. So just comment this one, and this one is a to array. So this is an array. But what exactly that the disadvantage is here? If it is a string, because this is a string, no, string, in that case this object you cannot give to string directly. You have to do typecast, because this array is a object type here. String here, object type array, but we have to transfer to string. Actually, in that case we have to give here string, then only it will work. It is working. It's working. String Ram Purushottam. This is the element, the object array. This is an object array. But what if you want to get a particular type of array? That also you can do. string array. Now this is a string array. No, string array, you no need to typecast here at all, no need to typecast at all. This is an object array. If you want to create a string array, then from the whatever the size of string is there, you have to create that array. You have to create that array. I am creating here of type of string from this size, from the size of collection. Using that size, I am creating one array, one collection, or sorry, one array of a string, and that array of string I am passing, and it is returning a string array, and I am printing that one. That is also fine. Here we no need to do typecast, because this array sorry, this array itself is a type of string, but here this array is type of object only by default. To array, if you are applying to array with the array of a generic type, because this, if you see this to array method, that is a generic type object, generic type array. In that one, whatever the type of array you will pass, that type of array it is returning, and you can print that one. You don't need to do typecast also. And this collections, whatever you are collecting here, no, you are collecting, you no need to collect, because it is inserting that elements into this array only. That is also fine. Okay, this is array of a object type and array of a generic type. Okay, next one is int function. That is not much used here, not much effect also. Okay, so to use that one, what you have to do, to array int function. What exactly int function? See, if you go to the implementation here, that is a default one. In collection, this is a default function, default method to array, and it will take one generator. Generator means int function type reference variable. It is accepting int function. What is int function? Int function is a generic, and that has only one method. Apply means it is a functional interface. So if we have to call here, then we have to pass one int function. So that's why using this lambda expression, I have given one implementation. That's it. I have given one implementation using this lambda expression. Simple. Because why we have used here lambda expression? Because this int function is a functional interface, and that is a generic type, that is of generic type R, and its return type is R, and it is accepting an int value. That's it. So whoever is calling, they have to pass one element, and according to implementation it will give. So what is our implementation? We have given in our implementation, first I am printing whatever the value is coming, and then I am creating a string size of string array of a size 4, and I am returning. That's it. Because it is accepting an int type of array. To array is accepting of a int function of a type generic array. That's why. Okay, and here they are applying dot generate dot apply 0 to arrays dot 0. That's it. Okay, so means it will come as a 0 here, and it will print value as a 0. Okay, yes, value is 0, and it is printing here we are printing simply. Now this to array value is collected into this one, and we are printing that one. Okay, we can use in this way also. Next one is the remove. If we are not removing, the 4 elements is printing. Next one is the remove. Add, we have already seen. Add, how we have already added this 4 element, now using add. So that is fine. Now we are removed. This is removed. Now it's removed. Before it was, if I comment this line, if I run, you will see it has a 4 element, 1 2 3 4, and if I remove the first one, Ram Nivas, only the 3 elements will be there. It's removing. Okay, next one is sorry. Next one is remove if. Remove if. Here we have to give one predicate. Suppose yes, remove if, we have to give one predicate. Suppose what exactly remove if? Remove if it is taking a one predicate type reference, that is nothing but a filter, and predicate, if you see, that is a generic type. So many other methods are there, but it is a functional interface, you see, because only one abstract method is there, that is a test, and this test is testing whether this element we have to accept or not. That's it. So here in this predicate, if you see, what the implementation we have given, return if element name is Ram Nivas, then return true, otherwise return false. So only Ram Nivas it will remove from this element. Okay, if I will give here Ram Nivas equal to Ram Nivas or equals to other one, what is the other one, Purushottam Das, so now both it will removed. Yes, remove if multiple values, according to multiple values you want to remove, you can remove, that is up to your choice. So this is the called predicate, remove if. Okay, remove if. Next one is remove if contain all, add all. Okay, what is the meaning of contain all? Retain all or contain all? Yes, contain all. Okay, contain all, I think. So contain all means what exactly it is taking? C2, another collection. So I have created another collection. So that is some static list I have created. You can create in this way also. We will see what exactly the types of that one, whatever, we can see that one, no issue. Later we will see. So I have created another collection C2. So if you see in collection 1, Ram Nivas, Purushottam, Sajjan is there in collection 2, and in collection 1 4 elements are there: Ram Nivas, Purushottam, Sajjan, Kumar and Kuldeep Singh. These four are there. Let me run once again. Okay, these four are there. Oh, come on, this one, 4 are removed. Okay, yeah, these 4 are there. So so this in collection 1 all elements of collection 2 are present. Here what exactly the meaning of this condition means, meaning of this statement, whether collection C collection C is containing all the element of a C2. Yes, it is there. Even in C1 one extra is there, but whatever is present in C2 all are there. That's why it is coming as true. C2, it's a true. Or if I will add one more like A, now it is not present, it will give false. Yes. Okay, next one is contains all stream. Okay, that is fine. Next one is contain all add all. Yeah, next one is add all means suppose C2, all the elements of C2 you want to add. Suppose in C2 XXX, YYY, ZZZ, sorry. So it will add into, if you add all of C1, in C you add all the elements of C2 collection, it will add. Yes, it is adding. Okay, the next one is now remove all. Remove all means all the elements of C1, all the elements of C2, remove all. Yes, C2. So whatever the elements is present in C2, if the same element is present into C, you remove that one. It's removed. If you don't remove, what will be the output? If you see first, 4 elements are there now. See, 4 elements are there. 4 elements are there. These 4 elements are there now. If I remove all whatever is present into C2, it will remove these 2 and remaining 2 will come. Ram and Purushottam's I have removed. Sajjan and Kuldeeps are still present into C1. Okay. Next one is remove, retain all. Retain all means retain only the suppose. Retain all. You will see, before to retain all, if I run once, what will be element of a collection? 4 elements are there. If I retain all C2, 1 means whatever the elements is present into C2, keep only those elements, other elements just remove. So in C2, Ram and Purushottams are there, so it's just keeping Ram and Purushottam, others it are removing. That's it. Okay. Next one is stream and parallel stream. What is stream? Stream is nothing but the stream of stream of object. Suppose, so I have taken one stream here, and using this stream, what I can do, I can print. Just I am printing using this stream. Just printing. First I'm just printing. So you can print using the stream, same thing it's getting. But what extra features in the streams? You can short also, no issue. You can short stream 2, that's it. It's a shorted. Now it will be shorted. How it is shorted? Yes, it is shorting, no, according to the alphabetical dictionary, alphabetical A B C D E F G H I J K L M N O P. After K, P is coming. After P, R is coming. After R, S is coming. So according to their name, it is shorting them. Shorted algorithms are there. Okay, so using this one you can stream. If it is a parallel stream, then how it's working? It is a parallelly doing all this process. That sorting will be something different. See, P, Q, R, K, it should be before 2, but it is coming later, because this is the parallel stream, means multiple operations will be parallelly. Okay, that is different thing. Yes, see, Sajjan, Purushottam, Kuldeep, Ram. Next time it will come something different. See, okay, so this is called stream, and we will see learn this thoroughly, what exactly the stream in Stream API. Stream API is just different APIs in that utility in that package. We will learn that one. I think this is an IO package. Stream is present in IO package. No, stream util, another package. Under the stream util, one sub package is there, stream. This is a different package. We will learn this one. Okay, stream package we will learn. Okay, yeah, stream package that we will learn. Okay, next one is default. This is a parallel stream returns. Okay, this we have already seen. So these, only this much is there for this collection API, and in the next session what we will see the list collection API, because we have already seen this definition. If you see again, what is the collection framework? A collection framework, this has some interfaces, some implementations, some algorithms. Algorithms means like searching, sorting, manipulating, that one. Implementation means how many implementations are present for this collection, like list, set, tree, hash table, hash set, linked hash set, so many are there. So in the same way, first we will learn a list implementation, list collection API. We will see in our next session, and I hope you like this session. Please subscribe my channel, and thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next session. Till that, bye bye.